By the end of the play, hopefully, the audience gets that this is a man that loves both his sons deeply. Billy's discovery or liberation through art is in an odd kind of way his father's liberation as well, because his father, through seeing what his son is and what he can do, is liberated as well. He discovers art, he discovers the power of art in his love for his son, really.
One of the surprising things about it is how much more political the musical is than the movie, and that's partly practical. It's partly because the movie, although of course it became a huge hit, started out as a small, low-budget English movie, and with the best will in the world, you cannot represent the miners' strike with sort of 20-odd extras. Inevitably, that side of it is a sort of backdrop to the story. But of course, on stage, and we have a very, very big company, you can represent the miners' strike abstractly with your ensemble, and so it's a huge part. It's very much to the fore. Threaded in with Billy's individual story is this very important story of the community and what happened at that time, and that's one of the big shifts and something that you get much more of in this show than the film.
The community he lives in is crumbling and is never going to be rebuilt. But also he's a man at the end of his tether, because he's lost the anchor in his life, which is his wife and the woman that he loved, and he's stuck with two growing boys and a grandmother who's lost her marbles.
I love flying. I love the angry dance because it's an amazing number with all the lights and the guitar, and there's a lot of cool moments.
But the show is literally exhausting, isn't it? Because it's so physical.
I'm very tired. The only thing that gets me through is Mountain Dew and a Coca-Cola. No, extremely tired, but sometimes after a show I'm wired up, so I can't go to bed, but it differs every night.
Because, I mean, you talk about that dance you do on top of the bedroom scene when you're literally kicking at everything. It could go wrong, couldn't it?
Yes, it could go very wrong, but it has gone wrong. One of our Billies once sprained his toe by kicking it too hard, so it's a very dangerous number.
Jake, tell me about what you're thinking about when you're on stage. Are you in the moment? Are you the character? Do you become Michael? How do you do what you do?
Well, there's a lot of background to it because, we know that Michael is Billy's best friend, and he's got a secret that he's hiding and dressing up in women's clothing. So it really helps you kind of become Michael.
There are two places that I listen to it. I listen to Billy and Michael doing their big number together, which I just adore. And then the other one that I really love is Billy's ballet with his older self.
Do you look forward to the moment when you grab the audience? Because you've got something, both of you, that I've never had, which is popularity, and you stand there at the end and they're all cheering and they love you and they fall in love with you. Is that the moment you're waiting for?
Oh, absolutely. Every night, there are a few scenes like the boxing scene and the kissing scene, but Express is always like, all right, here we go. Come on.
And of course, Jacob, at the end, you get the huge standing ovation. I've never seen it when they haven't been on their feet just loving you. Yeah. Is there any better feeling than that?
No, not at all. It's amazing, especially when you walk out the stage door and they're all cheering and they want your autograph. That's a great feeling.
Is that boring yet? Are you fed up of that yet?
No.
Never gets tired?
Nope.
But when little Billy is up in the chair being held by the guys and he yells, "Finish!" the audience just goes ape. It's wonderful, wonderful.
I think that's what blows you away with this show. I suppose you felt the same when you watched it. You can't believe how people do it, and now you are.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it at all. It was my mom at the end of Electricity looks at me and she's like, "Do you think you could do that?" I'm like, "Give me a year." Give me a year or two.
And of course, this is something you can't do forever, because we can't have a 30-year-old Michael or a 42-year-old Billy, can we? Do you worry about the future, or is it all about now?
I'm not sure. I definitely think that I'll be here for a while because, I'm small for now.
Yeah, not too many Big Macs or anything like that.
Exactly.
We should say, though, the St. Mary Poppins, it has got quite a lot of bad language in it, and if you're afraid of that or if you're offended by it, probably give this a miss, because it is quite strong, because it needs to be.
It does need to be. It isn't a kids' show, although it is a show that children absolutely love. I mean, I wouldn't say bring tiny children, but partly, I can't tell you exactly why, partly because they are seeing, kids love watching other children, and of course they're watching children do extraordinary work. obviously the Billy, what he has to do is incredible. It must be one of the most demanding roles ever written for the musical theatre in terms of the numbers and the choreography he does. But also there are lots of other guys. I have a whole team of ballet girls who have a huge amount to do in the show, and they love, they just love watching that. But also I've never worked on a show before which can engage people on so many different levels. And so it does appeal, of course, to the musical theatre goer, but it also, I've got loads of people who are sort of would count themselves as very sophisticated theatre goers for whom the musical is not particularly their thing, but they love it, or your very ancient, very right-wing aunt from wherever, from the home counties will seem to love it. The very young, it's quite extraordinary that it just works. It has, there's so much going on. Choreographically, it's very original, and there's lots of huge moments in the show, which in another show, if you had one or two, you'd be grateful. Well, you've got loads in each half, and that there really is something, you can just appreciate it on different levels.
I think all those big northern towns, Leeds, Manchester, Liverpool, Newcastle, even Glasgow and Scotland, there's a grittiness about them which is similar, I think, and the backgrounds of those people I can easily identify with those kind of communities.
The accent is a bit like yodeling, isn't it?
Well, it's a bit like yodeling, but it's not quite like yodeling. But it does have a rhythm and a music to it.
Billy Whitchurch, thank you so much for talking to us here on Broadway. Good luck in the show. You're really tremendous. And if you get a chance to see one show here, this is definitely it. Thanks for talking to me.
Alex. Cheers. Thank you very much.